Hi everyone, okay, so we're here with Brenda and she's going to do a fab interview with us and give us a bit of an insight into her working life and what she looks for in designers and artists, and we're just going to have a general chit chat and a catch up. So if you'd just like to introduce yourself, please.
Oh, absolutely. First of all, I want to say thank you so very much for doing this. I'm very honored. Hi, everybody. My name is Brenda Manley, and I am a creative director for my art licensing agency, which is Brenda Manley Designs. Yeah, so that's what I do.
Wonderful. And do you have the side name? Is it My Favorite Designs?
I did that for a while because I thought it was really cute and catchy, and I really wanted people to say, "What booth are you going to next?" And they would say, "Oh, I'm going to go to My Favorite Designs." So, but I've had some good feedback, and people have said that it's really better. And thank you for asking this. People have said that they're really looking for me and not so much the name because I've been in the industry for quite some time. So I have relinquished that, and it is Brenda Manley Designs.
Fab, embracing you.
Yes.
Wonderful. And how long have you actually been doing the agency side?
Okay, good. So I left my previous position. I was there for 16 years at a paper tableware manufacturer, and I resigned, and I originally thought I would just freelance on my own. However, along the way, I've met some fabulous emerging talent, and I really just started out like saying, well, you know what, I have industry experience and I can help you along the way, and then it fluidly developed. So I am now an art licensing agency and a surface studio design studio. Let me just stutter a little bit more. Okay, I'll relax a little bit. So I've been doing the agency for about 2 years now, just shy of 2 years. So
well, it feels like a lot longer.
Well, I've been going to Surtex and the shows for 10 years plus.
Wow, so
I've always been on the other side of the table, and that was the thing. That's what helped me with my transition, leaving a very steady income, nice benefits, to this side of the table, so I could so I know them because they made it look so easy. But I mean, it's really, this is my passion. This is what I do. So yeah.
Cool. Is there anything that you miss from being on the other side of the table?
Really, probably just working with people, because I'm very extroverted, and having people around me. I mean, that was a double-edged sword. I mean, there's always the people I like to be around, but then there was the ones that, required a little bit of extra grace and patience to be around. Not in the steady income. But I really wouldn't go back. I mean, I really wouldn't change it because I really like what I do. I mean, I get to work from home. Actually, I am in San Juan, Puerto Rico right now.
Oh, my goodness. Not jealous at all.
You can see outside. It is absolutely fabulous. So anyway, but the good thing is that, I get to work remotely. I can work from home or wherever I am in the world. And then I get to go to shows 3-4 times a year and travel to see clients. But the awesome thing is I get to be there in the morning and the afternoon when my daughter, gets on and off the bus. So that is worth everything in gold. So it's been a wonderful transition.
It's nice to hear how naturally it happened as well, that it just kind of, everything's fallen into place.
Yes, it is. It is. Sure is. And when it's in life, when I want something and I've tried so hard to go get it, and it's just like I keep banging my head, it's kind of like, okay, maybe I need to redirect and look over here. So I just feel like everyone has a path, and when I finally quit trying so hard to be something else and I am being me, then the world just opens up. So.
Oh, what a lovely way of looking at things, and I think that's something that a lot of us can take, because you just try so hard to try and fit into certain boxes, or you see somebody doing well, so you're trying to emulate that, or fit where you don't necessarily belong. And I think once you embrace you and work with that, everything.
The more you are, the more beautiful you are. The more music you make, the more you're in your element, and the more that we can release what other people think of us, the more we are in tune with our gift. So that's my thoughts.
And what's the most rewarding aspect to the things that you do?
Oh my goodness! By far, none is actually. It's twofold.
Mhm.
It's like they're right together. It's seeing the product and seeing the elation over the designer's face when they light up, or to hear their voice, just excited to see their art on product. Because I mean, we all we all have this thing, like, at times, you know, I'm like, wow, I am good. You know, I just created this piece that is on fire. But then to see someone else believe in that as well, and have external validation, and have them mass produce it, and then it's on the market, that's pretty freaking cool. Yeah. I mean, that's to me what it's about. Oh, and also writing checks to pay the designers. that is, and I love to call them and say, hey, send me an invoice because this piece sold, or someone such and such wants to license this. So yeah, that's really exciting.
Oh, cool. And what about some of your favorite projects to date?
Oh, favorite projects. I'm so glad you asked. I have prepared. I'm going to switch over to this. Oh, wait, 1 second. I have prepared a few visuals, so I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Thank you for sending the questions in advance so I could be a little bit prepared. This one on the upper left is by Unique, and I will mention the company if they're okay with it. I went ahead and reached out to everyone in this array right here, so to get permission if I could show their work. Okay, so this upper left one is done by Angela Kilpatrick. She's a designer that I represent. She's in Tennessee, and this is with Unique Paper Tableware. So this is actually the screenshot from the catalog. So it's fantastic. It's vibrant. It's wonderful, and it's I'm excited to see it. So that is Paper Tableware, and then this one is by Lennox. And this is, so then I'm going to go across over here to these right here. These are also Emma Schonenberg, and this is Jilson Roberts. They are a fantastic paper bag company, and I just absolutely love working them. They're fun to deal with, and they as well gave us permission, and it was way okay to mention their names. But these are by Emma Schonenberg. So then over here we have some washi tape by Laura Balliora, and that is the manufacturer, but the artist here is Onmar Wynn.
I thought I spotted. Is that food on there?
Yes, it is. It's citrus fruits and then pineapples. Yes, yes, it is. So then here, this is by Harriet Meller. And this was some oars by a bedding company. So it's pretty exciting to see this. I'm not able to say the company, but they were able to share the image, and I thought that was really nice. And here again, this is by Demdeco. This is Onmar Wynn, and that is a glass cutting board by Demdeco. And then this is an art heart, also by Demdeco. But then we have this right here, also by Onmar. And these are some yard decorations. So this is a flag banner, and these two are yard decorations, and then this is a mailbox. Oh, nice. And then we have right here, this is also Emma Schonenberg. What she did is she designed these boots, and it was so funny because I contacted the customer, and she goes, well, I don't know if this is going to help or not, but here it is, because it was a whole all-over print pattern, but they ended up just using this for it, and it's pretty interesting. And then also over here inside of the horses is Emma's bandana print. So I just wanted to touch upon some designer highlights, because not all the designers and all the products that I mentioned are on the image that I showed just a second ago. So Alyssa Kay's art, her art is actually debuting this season. It's in the stores right now at a popular bargain retail chain store. I'm not allowed to say the name of the company. However, the name of the company is very holiday oriented in the name. They started off on the East Coast, and Amy Sumat, her art will be appearing on in trendy and fashionable juvenile girl accessories retail chain. This one's funny because my niece, when she was younger, she just called it Girl Heaven because you could go there and get earrings and a bow and a purse. Oh, she would pimp me out. So anyway. And then, of course, Emma Schauneberg, she had some of her art on there. And then we also have Larissa Hernandez. Her art is very exciting. It's sold to some fabric companies. And the most important one is, again, one that I cannot mention. However, it is a very popular home decor company that is specializes in imports.
Okay.
That's a big hint. So anyway, and of course, Angela Kilpatrick with Willberry Studio. So anyway, and I do want to introduce. I will be making a big splash about this very soon. But we just signed on Angel Gerardo. She's a designer in Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona. Oh. So I'm super excited with that, and I'm going to connect with her tomorrow, and we're going to get some things going. So, so that was fun. That was very, very fun. So thank you. Yes. Thank you for asking that.
Cool. So do you try to keep a set number of artists on your books at one time?
To keep like 9 to 10 or less. If I start, if the talent comes in and I am growing, I am very excited to continue to grow the company and add more agents or administrative to help the process along. The most exciting thing for me is really to have the artist get them out there and obviously fill up their checkbook, but, it's really about the artist because, as a designer and an artist myself, and that's another thing people ask me frequently. It's like, well, how much time do you have time to design? I really don't, because mine comes in bursts. It's like I get so inspired, which I think is one of your questions, but I'm really better at art directing. I'm really great at, being extroverted, interacting with people and getting the sales and finding out what their needs are and being the conduit between the artist and the manufacturers. Yeah. So that part I really, really like. And then, a lot of times I'll take screenshots and send them back, and I'll say massage this, tweak this, give a little bit of art direction, and then it can really develop into something pretty special. Okay. And a lot of designers just knock it out of the park too. Some of them I'm just completely blown away at, and no need for art direction or revision. It's just phenomenal.
Okay, so if you could just tell us a little bit about a typical day in your life.
Okay, so a typical day, there is no typical day, but I can give you kind of an overview of what a day and what a week looks like for BMD agency. Okay. So we start with a weekly Skype meeting. So once a week, it's actually Tuesdays at 2. We all jump onto Skype, and I post notes onto Facebook prior. So I have a list of things, basically an agenda or items to go over. And so it's business updates, brainstorm sessions, constructive critiques. Because we have a private Facebook page, and a lot of designers, I like to be as transparent as possible and encourage them to communicate amongst themselves, because there are some times when I may not be available and someone's stuck on a design, and sometimes you just need that little kick, a little bit of feedback. So we use that, some constructive criticism there. We always exchange tools and tips. And then, as far as trends go, do I provide trend information, or are they pretty much on their own? Each designer works differently. So a lot of times what I can do is I'll say, here's a category, or here's a season, here's some common icons, go. And some just take off running, depending on their years of experience in the industry and how confident they are with themselves and their selections and design choices and color palettes. But then there's other times that, even though, I can give a category and what have you, I still am always constantly looking for trends and seeing what's, on the peak, or if it's still valid, or if it was a fad and it's phased out. I also make myself available for one-on-ones with the designers. The day kind of is dictated by the show prep mode, or is it show follow-up mode, or is it scheduling sales calls in between? So there's a lot of that. So
how many people are actually in your company? Is it you doing everything, or do you have help?
It's me right now, but I am sending out. I'm starting to farm out pieces like administrative work, data entry, and to contractors to break off parts of it so I can focus on getting new work and making contacts and what have you. So
okay. And what's your biggest source of inspiration when you're looking around for trend reports and things like this, or pulling them together, I should say?
Well, for trends, I mean, it's just really vision. And one of my favorite things to talk about, because trends are everywhere and anywhere.
Yeah.
And there can be trends, whether they're macro or micro, and it's, again, how you translate it to your art, your style, and what you're envisioning it to, what product you're envisioning it to go on to. Because not every trend is applicable to what one designer works on.
Yeah.
I always like to see what's happening with print trends. Nature is so inspiring. So
after the actual artwork, what is it that you would say is the next important thing that you look for in an artist or a designer, or what you think they should focus their time on?
That's a great question. It inspires them, and if they can make it market relevant.
Okay.
So it's finding what inspires the individual artist, and it's developing their styles. As far as styles go, I'm going to side note here. I do find it very interesting because some designers, it's just, you can look, like when I go play that copyright game, I can look at some artwork, whether it's on a product or not, and I'm like, oh, that's so-and-so. So when they have developed a style that helps their marketability. So, and then I wanted to just give you one scenario, too. When I was at my previous employment as a design manager, when I worked with outside freelance artists, we would develop trend boards and submit them to freelancers and give them the opportunity. And I worked with a lot of artists that already had a strong developed style, and then they tried something out of their wheelhouse or out of their realm. And while I commend them for trying that, you could see in the artwork that it wasn't their sweet spot.
Yeah.
So, I mean, my recommendation would be to try different styles, but if it seems forced or if it's not really working, I mean, stick with what is range is. So.
Have you got any advice for how people should actually organize their portfolios if they do have different styles? Is it good to show a variety, or would you have maybe a whole different website for one style or different categories?
You want to market yourself.
Okay.
So if there's one style that is just in high demand, then I would definitely have that presence out there on its own. But then underneath, maybe you could show your range of styles. So again, it's how you want to market yourself. If you are an artist that can switch gears easily and quickly, then I would say go ahead and put a lot of that out there, because range is good. Range is really, really good. And but so is, one, and it's not, I don't want to say you're like pigeon, you're not pigeon, it's your signature brand. When you have your signature style that is being recognized, then definitely put that out there. So I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
Okay.
You did, that's great. Okay, so year on year, is there anything that you look forward to, or what is it that really gets you excited the most?
The trade shows. Back to, being an extroverted person. There's so much creative energy and talent at the trade shows. Surtex, Blueprint, and overseas markets shows yet, but that is on the agenda.
Get to the UK.
But there's so much talent at these events, it's just intoxicating. And I highly recommend, if there's a surface designer out there that hasn't been to one of these shows, I mean, it's not necessary. However, I can only share my experience. For the first time that I went to one, while I was working at the company, I was not selected to go, so I paid for it for myself. And when I got there, it just was, one of those moments where it was like, this is it. This is it. This is the deal. And that was my experience. I'm not saying that's going to be for everyone's, experience. So yeah. So, I mean, I indulge and delight in conversations with clients and competitors. And actually, they're not even competitors, the other agents and people who are, we are vying for the same art per se, but I mean, each artist and each agency really has such a wide variety of looks, and so, but my experience is the competitors, if you want to call them that, they are so kind to me, and it's really more of a community, an art community, to where we are just lifting each other up. So, but that's been my experience. You know, I mean, there's things that happen, but this is the deal for me.
Yeah, I found that that's true of independent designers as well at the shows. Like, it's been just such a welcoming environment. You know, you go there and you don't feel that competitive vibe. You feel like, you know, it's like a reunion. It's really nice.
Well, it's like Facebook becomes live. You actually get to meet the people that you've been communicating with on social media. So
yeah, that is it. That's the nail on the head. That's absolutely right. Okay, well, I've bombarded you with all of the questions in my list.
There's one more question.
Yeah, which one? If a new law has been passed and you could no longer be an agent or an artist, what would you do instead?
First of all, I'd be very sad. But then I would go back to law school and have this nonsense reversed. Because this is what I do. This is my passion. This is my industry. This is what I live and breathe. Patterns, colors, textures, trends, artwork, painted styles, illustrative, pencil, whatever. This is me. This is my passion. So
wonderful. That's such a nice answer to end on as well. Thank you so much for your time. I know you could have been enjoying the glorious weather. No
worries.
Kept you in here a bit too long, but thank you again for all of your time. If people would like to get in touch with you,
Brenda Manley Designs, and then there's my information.
Okay, brilliant. And submissions, do you like people to send you submissions?
Oh, sure.
How would you like to receive them?
The best way would be to go through the website, and there is a part on there where you can hit contact, and just pop me an email and say that you're interested, and I'll be happy to take a look. So it's great if you can. I'm not sure if you can attach a PDF. I think you can. But if you can put your website in there, and I'll be happy to take a look. And also, I mean, I'm available for some consulting work as well. So if you want to have me take a look at your work and give you a few suggestions, because that's what I do. Or I'm not trying to say that, but I mean, art directing.
Yeah.
That is fun. And given my 18 years now of industry experience, I have a pretty good eye for what's on the market. So.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for all your questions and your hard work on your end, scheduling everything, and I really appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.